Howdy banger pals, Blayne Smith welcoming you to another Metal Monthly, Bangers Monthly look at what's coming out in metal releases. As all, there is a fucking wasp, just like, it keeps fucking flying into the lens. Howdy banger pals, Blayne Smith welcoming you to another Overkill Reviews, Bangers Monthly look at what's coming out in metal releases.
You said Overkill Reviews.
When did I say Overkill? Why didn't you cut me off? Howdy banger pals, Blayne Smith welcoming you to another Metal Monthly, Bangers Monthly look at what's coming out in metal releases. It's the show where I find you the 5 best underground metal albums coming out every single month. We are outside in a not so awesome day in Toronto, so I'm wearing my Gut Void neon yellow shirt. We're on a patio. I'm trying to summon a couple of good days of summer left before we inevitably move in.
Yeah, I was worried about that.
So, September 5th, we've got Dark Angel with Extinction Level Event on Reversed. We've got Primal Fear with Domination on Reigning Phoenix. September 12th, you've got Lorna Snore with I Feel the Ever Black Festering Within Me on Century Media. And a good pal of mine is releasing Silver, Obsidian Moon Invocation, Solitary Night Collective. It's a little raw. It's a little raw for the main channel, but if you like raw black metal, check that out. September 19th, Paradise Lost is releasing Ascension on Nuclear Blast. Scorpion Milk is releasing Slime of the Times on Peaceville. And September 26th, you've got Amorphous releasing Borderland on Reigning Phoenix. And Revocation is releasing New Gods, New Masters on Metal Blade. Anyways, let's get on with the releases I'm excited about. A new noise has entered the chat. So up first, oh my god, thrash is back, baby. Violator, Unholy Retribution, Kill Again Records, September 5th. Quick venue change, we forgot. It's the Air Show today in Toronto, and the daycare next door just let out. So the Air Show is making children cry, which is making me feel murder. Anyways, let's talk about some thrash metal. This time, it's Brazilian thrash. We've got a cover by Andrei Buzakov, and yes, thrash again in Metal Monthly. 3 thrash albums in 2 months. Can you believe it? Last time I joked that I had both types of thrash, German and American, but that there was a secret third type of thrash, and that is of course Brazilian thrash, and it is of course not a secret. If these guys' name is kind of jogging your memory, they had a 2006 underground classic in Chemical Assault. I'm not sure why they didn't strike gold again between now and then, but they are back in a big way, and they've got everything that we come to Brazil for. They're crazy fast, never letting up on the speed for the entire album, and if anything, frequently ratcheting up the speed as things go on. And there's also that South American punky energy to the whole thing, both in, you know, just general performance, especially in the vocal delivery, but also in the fact that this is a fiercely political album in great Brazilian tradition. Hell, they made the lead single off the record a pro-Palestine song, so hell yeah, boys, we love to see it. They're finally back, and they're back in a big way. Let's go! Moving on, we've got Hadopelagyal with the release, oh god, Haematophoryktos on Amor Fati Productions, September 19th. I'm gonna be saying some crazy, I'm gonna be trying. This is a German war metal band, and it's one of the few female-led war metal bands, which is crazy, although technically based on the number of female war metal bands there are and based on the number of war metal bands there are, it might actually not be that uncommon. But regardless, why do I bring this up? Why did I say female-led instead of female-fronted? Well, that's A, because female-fronted is a term that should be nuked from orbit. I don't care who fronts it, who makes it, and that's Hecla. But why am I talking about this? Is it to make a political point? No, it's to point out the fact that it's Hadopelagyal, spelled G-Y-A-L, and so we're gonna whine with it. Sorry, I got possessed by the spirit of Chet Hanks there. I'm just sad that White Boy Summer is almost over. Well, sadly, that doesn't mean we're getting a Jamaican war metal album. It does mean we're getting more war metal, and that's just good news to me all around. The last record she released had a bit more of a noisy, raw black metal energy to it. This time, it's gotten a little bit polished up. It's a little less targeted exclusively at basement-dwelling weirdos, and it's embraced the hottest genre on the block, war metal. But Blayne, how does this war metal album stand out from the thousands of war metal albums released every single day? Well, I'm glad you asked. This war metal has a nice dose of occulty, Lovecraftian vibes. It's got a bit of that otherworldly horror sound to it, as opposed to the sound of like the horrors of man or Satan. Her coming from that background, more based in black metal, does mean it also retains a little bit of that black metal wash that can take some of the harsh edges that a war metal pummeling can deliver. So if you haven't picked up on the hottest genre on the block, maybe this is a good record to dip your toe into the water. Come on in. The water is, it's crazy. It's messed up in here. The water's not fine, but it's pretty cool. Moving on, we've got Peace Like Peace, Not Peace Like Peace, Rambler's Axe, This Charming Man record, September 5th. German sludge band, and as always, everybody stand at attention for another great album cover by Pablo Brocasso himself, the man, Paolo Girardi. So I'm sure you can guess that after this will be a death metal band, and then we'll close things out with a heavy metal band, which means that's it. That's all five. We've done it once again, another metal multi where we hit all the walls, and by all the walls, I mean the five metal subgenres that I think don't suck in thrash, black, doom, death, and heavy. This one excites me because it's sludge in the vein of High on Fire, and for some reason a lot of bands, despite High on Fire's success, don't try and kind of aim for that as a target. I guess it is harder to pull off than kind of traditional sludge because there is a level of rock and roll swagger necessary to things like the solos Pike pulls off that this band absolutely nails as well. You also have the benefit of them being a bit more of an underground band, which means the sound is a bit heavier, and you know me, I'm always gonna whine, make things heavier, more underground, where. Well, apparently it's working, because this not only sounds heavier, it also has a bit more of an underground touch to the production, in that this is another band that has gotten on the, metal meta, where we've realized black metal vocal production is pretty much just good in anything. Vary those vocals a little in the mix, it gets it in there. Feels so good, knead it into the dough, get it in there. What's good for the black goose is good for the metal gander, and so High on Fire, heavier sound, more underground production, Matt Pike not saying weird stuff. It's got everything I need. Okay, so now we move on to the death metal release. Of course, there's going to be a death metal release. It's Heruvim, Mercator on my good pals Redefining Darkness records, September 12th. guys are Ukrainian death metal and probably could have gotten in Metal Monthly based on this album cover. Holy hell, look at it. That's amazing. Server Turdlek. Jesus Christ, dude. That thing's crazy. Thankfully, the contents inside are just as good as the wrapper on the outside. This band has managed to kind of combine the three coolest schools of death metal in the kind of like Entombed school, the Bolt Thrower school, and the Death school. It's got the Entombed kind of just catchy fun to it every once in a while. It's a Ukrainian band, so they're naturally bringing Bolt Thrower's anger towards war into the album for, you know, I'm sure for reasons. And it's also a little death in that it's not scared to go off on a tangent, get weird, step outside the box as well. And the great thing about these three styles is they kind of bring their best, but their best counteracts the worst of each style. So it ends up creating this little circle where it's like a Ouroboros, but it's like three snakes, and the snakes are biting the shitty tails off the... I lost that one. I don't know where I was going with that. Regardless, this is phenomenal, and it's coming from guys that don't even have like a long tradition of being in death metal bands, and this is the first record with this band. It's crazy. I don't know how they pulled it off, and I don't know how they pulled it off while again being invaded. So just imagine what this record would sound like if they weren't being invaded actively. So I'm not saying we need to end the war just to get a new Heruvim record, but we can factor it into the equation. I'm gonna shut up. Today's episode of Metal Monthly was obviously brought to you by the Toronto Air Show, you know, known for a dazzling spectacle as well as upsetting every single dog in an entire city. Cool stuff. But actually, it's brought to us by you, because we have a Patreon campaign. You give us a couple bucks, and then we don't have to have ads here. We do have to occasionally edit out a plain sound, but other than that, things are pretty smooth. So head on over there, give us a couple bucks, and if you can't, you know, just thanks for watching. Like, comment, subscribe. Anything helps. We appreciate you. And if you want the opposite of a palate cleanse, you can come catch me every Sunday, 4 p.m. Eastern time on Twitch. I research this show live. I shotgun beers. It goes for like 4 hours. We listen to every single release. So if you think 5 albums isn't enough for you and you need more and you want to hear all the best and then hear me say mean things about all the worst, please, twitch.tv/metalcomedy, 4 p.m. Eastern time. Come hang. Thus, we come to our palette cleanse of the month. It's Firmament for Centuries Alive, Dying Victims Productions, September 19th.
Like a whirlwind, like a tempest, this ferocity between the walls of you and me. We are strangers, we feel empathy. I see a sign of painful loss of solidarity.
This is a German heavy metal record. Of course, I love a Space Tree by Ryan T. Hancock, and god damn it, another German band this month? It's like Germans are taking over the world. No, that will probably conjure some feelings. Let's not do that again. Last time they tried that, okay, so anyways, I had a real hard time deciding between Firmament and Solicitor for this spot. They're both Metal Monthly alumni. Both records are fantastic. I mean, you can't go wrong with either or both, so take this as an endorsement for the Solicitor record as well. I ended up going with Firmament over Solicitor for 2 reasons. One, I sometimes get criticized, sometimes justifiably, sometimes unjustifiably, that all of the bands in this show can be a little on the harsher side, and I disagree, but I also agree. So I went with the less harsh of the 2 records for you. You're welcome. Did you? Okay. And then, but the main reason is the distance between the last Firmament record and this one. It sounds pretty different. The last record just sounded like it could have straight up fallen out of like a late 70s, early 80s wormhole, and I loved it for that. This record, I also love for completely different reasons, and that's because it sounds like they've taken Iron Maiden and shot them with a prog ray? I don't know how else to describe that. Like, if Bruce Dickinson got really into D&D instead of airplanes and, I don't know, Brexit. All right, I'm salty this month. I don't know why I'm so spicy this month. So I always like when a band, you know, tries to level up, tries to change, mix up their sound, you know, try something new, and they really did this, and they really nailed it. So big endorsement for Firmament, but again, in no way does the Solicitor record not absolutely slap as well. So a little bonus, a little double, little 2 palette cleansers in there for you. Just a nice, so yeah, I brought you 6 records. Hey, look, the mandate was 5. I went above and beyond for you. Once again, you're welcome. But also, thank you so much for watching. Leave a comment down below. What do you think of my picks? What do you like? What's the vibe? Let me know. Hell yeah.